Hello everyone and welcome to week 6. Today we're going to talk about the week 6 assignment, which is your completed marketing plan. And so when you submit this assignment, you're going to submit it as a completed marketing plan. You're going to include all the work from the previous assignments that you've done in parts 1 and parts 2 and on the discussion boards. And you will incorporate any improvements that you want to make and revise any of the sections that you want to revise in your final submission. And then you're going to complete the marketing plan template. And in this section, you're going to start with the marketing mix, the 4 Ps. Much of this work has already been done in the discussion. You just need to copy and paste and make any changes that you want to make. So you start with the product strategy. You're going to describe your product or service, talk about where it's at in the life cycle, make any recommendations that you have for improving the offering to fit your target market's needs. Consider the level of quality and consistency that the offering has, how many features it has, can they be removed or added. How well does your product or service deliver what the customer values, and how can you improve that? And then what improvements would help your offering compete more effectively? Then you're going to talk about the pricing strategy, how your product or service is priced today, how this compares to competitors, and you'll assume that competitors are at a near break-even point with their pricing strategy. And then you're going to analyze pricing alternatives and make recommendations about pricing going forward into the future. And you'll consider, how sensitive your customers are to changes in pricing, what revenue you might need to break even and achieve profitability, and what does the price say about your product in terms of value, quality, and prestige. And then you'll talk about your distribution strategy. What is the best distribution channel and methods that you can use? Are you going to have retail outlets, or is it strictly going to be online? If you do have retail outlets, where are they going to be located? What geographic area would your product or service be available in? And then you're going to use the template to lay out your design for the marketing campaign. And this is going to be aimed at your target segment. So you'll answer the question how you're going to achieve your goal, what promotional or engagement strategies you're going to use. Be creative in your campaigns and think about what you've seen other companies and brands do that have caught your attention, and think about how it's going to make an impact on your target audience. Is your campaign going to influence, engage, educate, nurture, build awareness? So what is the goal of your campaign? And here you will talk more about the goal, consider your analysis of the company, and align at least one goal for the campaign. Describe the target segment for the campaign. What is the goal that you want to achieve for the campaign? What is your call to action? And make sure that your goal is SMART. It needs to be very specific. It needs to be something you can measure, something you can actually attain. It needs to be realistic, and it needs to be done in a certain amount of time. And they've given you some example here. So if your audience was HR professionals who are casual and power users of Chumber systems, increase event registration by 20% by the start date of the annual user conference. So this is your goal is to increase that event by 20%, the event registration. And your call to action is register online today. So you're doing an online campaign to get people to register, to get HR professionals to register for this annual conference. And then think about your messages. Identify the primary message for your campaign. You should have 2 to 3 message pillars and proof points for each. Be sure to include a call to action that helps to achieve your goal. Remember that messages should align and reinforce your positioning statement. Make sure to include that call to action to help achieve your goal. And they again have given you some examples. So the primary message, the annual user conference provides phenomenal value for training, professional development, peer networking, and learning how to get the most out of your investment. So, you're showing your target audience what value this has for them. And then the message pillar, this conference welcomes you into a dynamic, well-connected, and highly competent professional community. The proof point, veteran attendees return year after year because it recharges their skills, knowledge, and professional networks. And again, you're showing the value of this to your target audience. And then the call to action, make sure that you register today. And then you're going to get into the promotional mix and the IMC tools. You're going to identify the key marketing communication methods and the specific IMC tools that you're going to use in your campaign. Talk about how you're going to use these tools. Look for different ways that tools can build on each other. Remember the tools were advertising, direct marketing, public relations, digital marketing, guerrilla marketing, personal selling, and sales promotions. So the example here they're giving is digital marketing, a website. You could add testimonials from prior attendees using event hashtags, rolling hashtag, tweet box, social media buttons to make registration easy via social media. You may have seen a campaign similar to this on your social media where they try to get people to register to vote. So that's kind of an example of that. Direct marketing, you might do email marketing, reaching out to the prior year's attendees who are already registered and ask them to post about plans to attend upcoming conferences. And conduct email campaigns with the target audience list, generating awareness and interest and desire to attend the conference. And then your sales promotion plus your digital marketing. You might do a contest or a giveaway. You could offer a giveaway where Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn post trigger entries in a conference evangelist contest giveaway to take place at the opening session of the conference. So there's ways to do that with digital marketing. So just think of creative ways that you might use the different tools that you have at your disposal. And then talk about your sales alignment. At what point in the sales process or sales funnel does this campaign operate? Sales process stages are you're either generating leads, you're building relationships and discovering needs, you're presenting solutions or resolving concerns, you're either closing the sale, monitoring or following up. And so think about how your campaign is supporting these types of sales activities. Okay, next you're going to think about your measurement, your key performance indicators. How are you going to measure whether or not this campaign is being successful? And so they're giving you a list of some KPIs, and you're going to select 3 to 6 that you're going to measure and explain why you selected the KPI that you do and why it's going to be a good indicator of whether or not the campaign is successful. So these are your examples: total sales and revenue, the number of new and incremental sales, number of qualified leads that are generated, the net promoter score. This is a system where you ask others to say whether or not they would recommend something. Website unique visitors, number of registration signups, impressions, views of content, your click-through rate, your engagement, your comments, your likes, your shares, and then your followers on social media, awareness, and then anything else you could think of that might be an indicator of success of your promotion. And that's all going to kind of go back to the goal of what you were actually trying to do with this promotion. So this is all going to be relative to your specific campaign. And then next you need to address the budget, listing your marketing budget and your resources that you're going to need to execute the campaign, and just estimate what it'll cost. You need to think about labor, materials, any other expenses that you might have. If you're running Facebook ads, that's going to cost. And you can set, a budget as to how much you want to spend each day. If you're doing digital ads, you may have to hire a design service company or a graphic artist. So there's a lot to think about as to what you might need to do. And then you're going to do an action plan. You're going to outline the specific activities that you need to do to be able to execute the marketing campaign. Make sure that you list each element of the integrated marketing communication plan separately and list the actions in the order that they need to take place in order to be successful. Okay, so it's an action plan. You want to be detailed and organized. Okay, so first things first, and then, the later steps last. And then any follow-up activities and evaluation of the campaign effectiveness should also be captured in the action plan. And then just assume that you're going to be completing this marketing campaign within 3 to 12 months. Okay, and so they give you a little bit of an example here of how to do the action plan, putting in the date, what you're actually doing, and giving a description of that, who the audience is, and who the owner is, meaning who would take care of that action. And then you're going to talk about risk factors, contingency plans, and risk management. Consider any possible risk to your business and make contingency plans to address them. Remember that you did address risk under weaknesses and threats of the SWOT, so this will be a good time to review that and just to try to identify steps you could take to reduce that risk, or what you might do as a workaround if something did happen. And then the last section is your executive summary. Remember, it's at the top of the template, so don't forget to go back up there and fill that out. It's a summary. It provides a holistic overview of the marketing plan. This is why you can't really fill this in until the end, because you have to complete the marketing plan before you can give an overview of it. And so you just want to have a clear, concise overview of the company description, the target segment, the competitive advantage, the positioning statement, and then your marketing plan objectives. Okay, and so all of this has already been written in the marketing plan. It's just a matter of going and finding it and plugging it in, and maybe paraphrasing it a little bit. All right, so that is the completed marketing plan. Remember, you want to include the entire template, so parts 1 and parts 2. And you can make revisions based on feedback that you get throughout the course. All right, so good luck, everyone. I hope you had fun with this. I hope you were able to think creatively and critically, and I look forward to reviewing your marketing plan.